fire service community changed its mind. Went to this thing that was developed really up in Santa Barbara and Ventura counties in Orange County called Ready, Set, Go. On the ready side, before the fire, that's when you fire harden your home. You develop an emergency plan, you get all your records and medicines and everything in one place. Things that are important to you that are irreplaceable. For those of you who lost your homes, I suspect one of the things you lament the most are the irreplaceable mementos, the photographs, things from the kids. I mean, those kinds of things that you just can't replace. Get a game plan together to get that stuff ready. As the fire happens, and you're hearing all these public warnings going on, get your head in the game and say, okay, I'm going to prepare my house, I'm going to get all the furniture away from my patio, I'm going to make sure I shut my heavy blinds, do all these things. And you listen. Make sure you're aware of what's going to happen. And the minute we tell you to go, go. Don't wait. We lose people on the roadway in every major fire we have who wait too long. Or we have a situation that happened in the Witch Creek fire. We're having this fire advance toward the city of San Diego. We think we're well prepared for it. We have people arrayed to deal with it. We start to get reports that the fire is like 4 miles ahead of where we thought it was. We thought, how could that happen? Well, the Guajito fire, an entirely separate fire, began behind us. Power lines went down and another fire happened. And it slammed into Rancho Bernardo faster than we thought it would, or any of you thought it would. So some people will jump into their pool to save their lives. But get out as soon as you can. For more information besides what we have in the back, firewise.org is a very good place to go. And next slide. These questions. And that's it for today. So thank you very much.
I just want a show of hands. How many CERT members are here tonight? Woo!
Thank you all very much. Thank you. Sir.
I have two questions. The helicopters, SDG, aren't they just here for the sunrise power and leave once that is finished? Is that true or not?
It's up in the air. SDG&E recognizes the goodwill value of having those helicopters available for firefighting efforts, and they've talked about a couple of different ways to leave them behind when that project is done. Finding a way to fund those for the community. A tremendous asset. Now we have some very, I know Captain Babler was a former wildland firefighter. It's hard to stop a fire mid-slope. Once it's halfway up a hill, it's really hard to stop. We've seen people who've witnessed these large helitankers stop a mid-slope fire. They have that much firepower with it. So we hope that they're going to be here.
And my next question, granted, there are many homes in Rancho Bernardo, but there are also apartments. And what should apartments do? There's a lot of foliage around apartments. I live in an apartment.
Here's a challenge that was part of the discussion I had before the meeting started. There are no good regulations to deal with ornamental landscaping. The only thing we can do with ornamental landscaping is if some of it is within 10 feet of a chimney, we can make you cut your tree back or whatever that landscaping is. But beyond that, it's free reign whether you're an apartment owner or a homeowner to have any kind of ornamental landscaping you want around your home. It's a real challenge. There's nothing literally that the fire rescue department can do about it.
So there's no rules or things you can recommend to apartment owners?
Well, a lot of things I can recommend. There's nothing I can enforce. I can tell you to have a 100-foot zone, safety zone, but I can't do much beyond that. If you want to have palm trees all around every building you own, or cypress all around every building you own, there's nothing I can do to stop you from doing that.
Thank you.
Sir.
I live in a condo. All I own is an airspace. The structure around me, there are many fences. All the fences have quarter-inch or larger openings. I cannot get the association to do anything to reduce it to 1/8 inch. The city's code, the building code, only requires quarter-inch. The association would rather take care of the lawns and the trees and so on than get involved with screening. What can I do?
You're in a tough spot if you can't convince the HOA to convince the property owners to do something about it. Does anyone here live in the La Terraza apartments?
Not me. One of our past community council members.
That's one of the places I toured after I got a chance to get out of the command post, and that particular complex took a pretty big hit from the fire. The firefighters that stopped that fire's progress was about 1/5 of what we would normally assign to fight a fire of that magnitude. Those guys did an amazing job up there, and very experienced people leading them. I think that was part of it.
that the one across from Weston School?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But literally, I'm sorry, sir, there's really nothing, we can't compel them. You know, I need to go back and look at that code requirement, because it really should be 1/8 of an inch, you're absolutely right.
That's what I was going to stress again. Get the city to make the change. Then there's some city pressure on all of the condominium management people.
Here's the challenge with even if we were successful in going back and doing it, which sounds like a relatively easy thing. A lot of those changes are prospective. It doesn't deal with existing homes or existing dwellings. So I can say that, and if you build a new home, you're going to have 1/8 coverage there, but existing homes will not be compelled.
The other problem we'll run into is that all of the building code people are part of a nationwide organization that has across the nation 1/4-inch codes. You need it in Louisiana to keep the air moving, but you don't need it here.
This was one of the passions, believe it or not, of Tracy Jarman, my predecessor as fire chief. There was technology out there, it was almost like a fire dampener, so you would have a vent that would have plenty of circulation, but it would be a way for it to shut, you know, when certain weather conditions hit. It really hasn't evolved to the point where I've seen anything marketable out there, anything that's affordable.
Bolton, is that material?
Pardon me?
Bolton.
Vulcan does it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a perimeter on it. Just on your street.
Any other questions? Again, thank you very, very much for allowing me to be here.